Welcome to the Whiskey Jug, the only whiskey show online that moonlights as a board game geek collective. My name is Josh, and today we are doing the last glass review of the Jailer's Tennessee Whiskey. So now this whiskey right here doesn't exist really so much anymore. You can still come across the bottles in the liquor store, and if you do, I recommend picking up a bottle. It is put out by an NDP, so they don't actually distill it. Now, unlike some others out there, they don't actually claim to have distilled it either. They instead have relied on a total BS story about going out and finding some magical cache of whiskey somewhere, and that whiskey was the best thing that ever tasted, and so they bottled it, and then they took that, and then they, put it in the barrels, and then they come up with this. And it's a whole big bunch of BS. My guess is they're probably getting it from Pritchard's. It doesn't really taste like Jack. Definitely does not taste like Dickel. That would be my guess. Though Pritchard's is kind of small, but Jack doesn't really sell. So where it actually comes from in the end, no idea. That secret died with the company. But what we do know is that what they were putting out when they were around was actually pretty tasty stuff. So now, as usual, the link for the review is below if you want to read the original review. But right now, we're here to see how it's changed over that time. So the corn notes that have gotten a little bit more prominent over its course to empty. Like the little Vanna White thing. I don't know why I keep doing that in all the videos. This little Vanna White, oh look, it's empty. You can already see that. So anyways, the corn notes have gotten a little bit higher. The caramel notes have gotten a little bit higher. But the thing that's really strange is the cinnamon notes. The cinnamon notes, as it's oxidized and worked its way towards empty, well I guess as I worked its way towards empty, have really blossomed. They've gotten a lot more prominent, and it's really strange. It's taken on a little bit more of a bourbon-esque character. More of that corniness has died down a little on the nose. Oxygen has been well to this one. On the palate, same thing. A lot of that cinnamon is still coming through. There's a lot of changes that are happening that are affecting a little bit more dessert quality. A little bit more dessert notes are coming out. The grainy notes have kind of receded a little bit, and there's a little bit of a woody note that's starting to come through a little bit stronger now that it's all the way empty. But hasn't changed. I wouldn't say it's massive changes. Like all these things I'm talking about, it's not like it started here and ended here. It's like it started here and ended here. So there are minute things shifting and moving around. Not a big loss in quality on its way to empty. So really, this thing has kept on the shelf very, very well. On the finish, a little bit more woody notes, a little bit more kind of a dark cherryish fruit kind of notes. Again, that cinnamon is coming through nice and heavily on its way. Really not bad. Balanced body feel, still the same. Has a very nice feel to it, nice character. Yeah, I'm a little sad that it's gone. I did find a liquor store around me that still had a couple bottles on the shelf, and I passed it up, unfortunately, even though I just told you to grab it because I was there for something else, and whiskey budget only goes so far. I do plan on going back and getting some, unless you're in Los Angeles and you find that liquor store and you buy them all out. So this is something I originally rated an 87, and I think it should stay there. I don't see any reason to change it. Hasn't gotten really down in quality, hasn't gotten any better in quality. There's no real flavor exposure. It's not like it's something that was really tight and then over time the oxygen has helped it blossom and open up, which does happen with some bourbons where you'll open them up and you can taste them kind of funky. Then by the time you get about below shoulders, but somewhere between little below shoulder and quarter, they really start opening up as the liquid gets to mix with the oxygen a little more. That's not the case here. This one stayed pretty much consistent the whole way through. Looking back through my notes, it seems that this is a whiskey that has really just, stayed the course. So, yeah, started life as an 87, it's leaving life as an 87, and there you have it. Jailer's Tennessee Whiskey. If you see it, grab it, because if it's still out there, it's the last there is, because the company's gone. Cheers.